our friends. It's Tracey from Tea Time with Tracey and Friends. Boris, come here. Come say hi. Come here. He's right there. I'm a little late with this, and I wasn't even planning on doing this. I just got done folding laundry, and I see my box of books that I read last month. Some of them, well, all of the physical books. I'm just going to fast go through the books that I read last month. Here, Aletha Romig, Convicted. This is book 3 in the Consequence series. It's a dark romance, captor-captive, kind of Stockholm-y, kind of messed up. There's some trigger warnings with this series. I enjoyed it. I'd say it's about a 4-star. Some things were a little ridiculous that I would handle differently. Come here. Come here. We got a new addition to the family. This is Magda May Hyacinth Bouquet, Boris's little sister. She's just 8 weeks old. Anyways, so I enjoyed this. All these books are thrifted, and yeah, I would recommend it. It's not, there's sexual content in it for sure, but it's not completely explicit to the extreme or anything. But there is trigger warnings for abuse and manipulation, and there's a lot of twisty turns in this trilogy. But that's one series I can mark off this list for my year that I completed. Another book I read was Teague's Breeder. This is the first book in not quite an alpha series. There's 7 books in this series. I have the first 2. This is the first book. This is shifter romance, MMF. So there's 2 men and a female in a shifter community. And it's spicy, but there's a nice story that goes along with it. I'm not going to get into details what these are, but this is a 4-star for me. I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to book 2. I'm sure this could trigger some people, and it's inappropriate at some times, and all the things. I don't really have triggers. However, I can see why some people might find this triggering. So, Leona Page, Teague's Breeder. I have this in Mango's box. This is a trilogy bind up. The Black Lotus series, the first book is Bang. That was the book that I was supposed to read this month. I ended up binging the whole series. There's Bang, Echo, and Hush. Loved this series. This is a 5-star series for me by E.K. Blair. This is kind of a con woman. Twisty, turny. There's abuse, past abuse, child abuse in this. There's some spicy scenes in this. There is betrayal. There's adventure. There's suspense. There's backstabbing. There's a whole bunch of stuff in this. I had no idea what this series was about when I went into it. And I was just going to read the first book. But I ended up reading the whole dang thing, and I would recommend this. Absolutely loved it. And I loved how it ended. I'm sure not everybody would like the ending of this series. I did. I thought it was just, I wasn't expecting that ending at all. And it just has a little, dare I say, whimsical bit to it. But dark romance. A lot of nasty things in this series. I read Stignon's Honor. This is book 27, I think, in the Breed series by Laura Lee. There's 33 books in the series, I believe. This is another shifter romance about like an enforcer type of guy. He was sent out to find. It's kind of hard to explain because it's a whole encompassing world. But to go, and these are fated mates kind of romances. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that. I enjoy this series. I have all the books in this series, and I'm almost done the whole series. So yeah, that's it. I listened to Kennedy Ryan's Long Shot. I forgot that I had the paperback, This is a basketball romance, and there's trigger warnings in this for a lot of people, like abuse, heavy physical and sexual abuse in this. It follows a couple that basketball rivals and a woman, pretty much, but the man that the woman is with is very abusive, and the man that she's not with seems to have an instant connection. I enjoyed this. It was okay. I found it unbelievable. I'm not a big Insta person. Insta love, Insta lust, Insta connection, and that's what this was to me. If it was laid out a little different, I think I would like it more, but I'd say a 3.5 or a 3 for me. I know a lot of people love this book, and I did enjoy it. I didn't want to DNF it, but I'm just like, yeah, that first bit where the Insta, it just kind of didn't taste right in my mouth. I read Elora by Beanie Harper. This is one of those Wattpad books. I've never been into those. I don't know. I don't think I ever read any of those books, but this is what this used to be. It's reverse harem vampire book. This young child is found homeless on the street and starving, and this group of vampires takes her in and raises her. Now, this would be very triggering to some people. Grooming-esque sort of thing. I enjoyed the story, but there is a little bit of that, I believe, even though it's not straight up, that wasn't their intention at all. A group of vampires raise this little girl, and they're, of course, high up vampires in the vampiric system, and each vampire is their own character for sure. Some of them, is anti-human and all the different things. I enjoyed it, but it was just a right good time. Okay, this is not a very fabulous wrap-up, but here comes Magda. She's sniffing my books. Joe Hill, the Fireman. No, you're not biting my books. Nope, she's right at that. Hey, no, thank you, ma'am. Joe Hill, the Fireman. I think I drew Survivor or Survival, and I got this because my understanding was that there was this disease, and there is a disease. It's called dragon scale, I think, and it follows this nurse at the beginning who volunteered at this hospital because this disease was taking over people, and they wake up with these tattoos all over their body, and eventually they self-combust. And the tattoos look like dragon scale. They're black and gold and all the things. Anyways, it follows this young nurse who, just a minute. One of my girls are messaging me. Anyways, this nurse, she has a fiance or boyfriend, and they both agree to, when this disease started, if any of them get it, they'll just off themselves. Anyways, it starts showing up on her, and the boyfriend freaks out and leaves and comes back because it's starting to show up on him, and he's mad because she doesn't want to off herself anymore because she's pregnant and she worked in a hospital, and people with the dragon scale delivered healthy babies, and she wants to give this baby a chance to live before she does anything drastic. And it follows from there because this boyfriend is crazy and tries to kill her and kill himself, and she goes on the run and tries to survive, and she's found by this group of people, this community, and yeah, it goes from there. This one is this the one I read? I thought I read the City of Mirrors. I swear to God, I got boars in my house or something. I really do. I read this book, Justin Cronin's The 12. This is book 2 in a 3 in a trilogy, and this is a dystopian vampire series, and it involves, there's time differences. The first book starts out in present time, and then it jumps 75 years later, and then it jumps a little bit more. I need to find where that other book is. Just hold your horses. Oh, yes. Yeah, I have City of Mirrors. I already read it, but I already read it this month, and I was getting this month and last month all mixed up together. Adorable. Anyways, so this is book 2, the dystopian one. It's kind of hard to explain, but there's more than just humans and vampires. There's these other beings. They're a combination of both. And, yeah. Terrible explanation. All right. Clive Barker, The Great and Secret Show. This was a reread for me because I wanted to read this one because I have Everville on my beefcake challenge, I think. And I want to reread this book. This is a fantasy horror. And it follows a varying array of characters in this world. And there's different dimension-esques, like quiddity and different fates, and there's some splatterpunk horror, disgusting stuff. There's some fantastical, whimsical things in this. There's a whole bunch of things. I can't explain Clive Barker books very well. So now for some audiobooks I listened to Homewrecker by Sarah Kate. This was the first book of hers I've ever read. This is about a married couple. They have a little girl. They're having a few issues. And this man from the husband's past, who was best friends with his brother who had passed away, who is a very successful man in the adult industry. Anyways, his house burns down or something, and he just needs a place to stay. Anyways, he goes to rent their extra side house, or whatever you call it, guest house. And he offers to help them, better their relationship, including him, if you know what I mean. So it's a spicy good time. I enjoyed it, like 3.5 stars. Like it was good. A good introduction to Sarah Kate. I know she has the Salacious Players Club, I think. I might have a couple of audiobooks in that. I can't remember. Anyways, I did that. I did Mile High by Liz Tomford right here. And this was a hockey romance. This is about a stewardess that works on this hockey team airplane. And the hotshot, cock of the walk head player, they develop a relationship. He's kind of a dink who is a softie underneath, apparently, but I still think he doesn't need to be the way he is. He is kind of annoying to me, and I don't need you eating cardboard, Magda. She is a strong woman, and I like that she works at an animal shelter. That really makes me happy. And she doesn't take any of his guff. She's a little self-conscious about her physical appearance. So it touches on that quite a few times in this book, which, I understand just more than I probably would have. I got her feeling and understood related to her the first time she did it. She didn't need to keep doing it, but whatever. It's fine. I'm not a big critique. I had a good time reading it. He was annoying to me, but most golden boys that think that they are God's gift to all women are annoying to me, and I want to punch them in the face, but I didn't. And he turns out to be a nice guy to her, and all the things. It was all right. 3-star. I listened to When We, I think, by Casey Mills, and that's another basketball romance. Well, Liz Tomford's was hockey, so this is basketball. She's like the agent, an emergency agent that's put in for this hotshot basketball player because he keeps firing all his agents, or the people that go assist with him, and or the assistants quit because he's not listening to them. And anyways, this young woman is hired to clean up his act because he's getting a bad rap and he's not going to get signed to a new contract. I actually enjoyed this book than the other two sports romances that I read. Again, he's cocky. He's, all that in a big bag of chips that I don't like. But this take on it was a little more enjoyable to me than Kennedy Ryan's and Liz Tomford's. Just this go around. I'm not used to reading that many sports romance in a row. I think that was what my issue was. And I think the last audiobook I listened to was God of Malice by Rena Kent. I have read a couple of Rena Kent books and I have enjoyed them. This one is the children of, I forget what the parent series is. Anyways, it's the first book in whatever this series is called. I'll put it here. And I forget the characters' names, but it opens up with a young woman standing on a cliff, well, with me, and having a hard time because the person she was in love with, or thought she was in love with, was killed. And she doesn't, her family is kind of dysfunctional, and she doesn't feel like they connect with her, and she's a little lost. She feels subpar compared to them because they're very successful and artsy and all this stuff. Anyway, she's standing there. This made my eyes roll too, honestly. And this guy comes, the main character guy, and he's like, well, jump. Or he pushes her but holds on to her so she doesn't fall off the cliff. I'll save you if you, go down on him. And I'm just like, he's all cocky and everything too. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too old for this sort of thing, or I just was not in the frame of mind for it. So she agrees, and then, he pulls her back from the ledge, and then she tries to fight him on it, and he threatens to push her off the ledge. So, it's non-consensual in a way. Well, it is. Dubious consent, I guess. Is that what it would be? No. I would say non-consensual. Anyways, after that deed is done, she goes back home and tries to act like nothing happened, even though she came that close to death and she's never had any kind of intimate relations like that before. She goes to school the next day, and they're like seniors, or is it college or something? Like, they're not little teenagers, but they're not adults. And guess who's at the school? That crazy mofo. And he has a reputation. The school has to do with big high up families that are either in crime or big politicians, or like the elite, if that's what you want to call them. And this guy that was at the cliff with her is from like a big up family, and he comes to that school with a reputation, and he has set his eyes on her, and it goes from there. So I enjoyed it. I think I'm just old enough to not be excited about any of the foolishness that's going on, but I still enjoy reading it. So I'd say 3.5, 4 stars. I had a good time reading it, and I'm glad I did. I don't know. I think I'm just used to like the parent books, like older. Again, they're not like, I don't believe it's a high school. It's like a special prep school of some sort. But I had a good time. Had a fine time. So anyways, with that, I'm going to say peace, love, and happiness today and every single day. Please like, share, and subscribe if you so choose. But if not, that's okay too. I still love you. I still want all the happiness in the world for each and every one of you out there. I certainly do. I really, really honest and truly do. Yes, I do. I just remembered one more book I listened to. It's on the Audible free plus catalog. It's the K.A. Tucker Wolf Hotel series. It has all of them except the last book in the series, or the last book that's out in the series. I listened to the first one. I think it's Tempt Me, and it's about this resort up in Alaska that has a young woman who is done high school, and she wants to get out of this farm town, little tiny town down in the southern states, because she has only ever been with one man, and not even all the way. And that guy told her to wait for him. He needs to go sow his oats. And she was heartbroken because she planned on getting married when she was done high school, and blah, 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 blah. She ends up getting a job at this resort, even though she doesn't really have the skills. But she gets up there thinking she'll work out in the woods because she works on a farm. She should be able to. Anyways, she crossed paths with the Wolf Hotel executive, big man, and it goes from there. So, there. That's my wrap up. I believe that's everything. I think that's it. What do you think of that, Magda? Okay, I can put all these dang books away and start working on my May TBR. Well, I've already started working on it, but work on more of it. So, with that, I'm going to say have a good night or have a good morning, and I will. See you soon. Bye. Boink.